So, allowing us to know that power that can do anything, that power that we can use. I have a question for you today. What's the one choice you can make so that when fear arises, you can remember it's done unto you as you believe? And what is the one choice that you can make today to know that the power of the divine can do anything? Those are two important questions. And I think right now some of us are feeling bogged down with all the virus discussion, with all the news about it, and it does taint our beliefs to some degree. So here's a thought. Divine energy, spiritual energy is always available to us. And also, we have a choice about our own energy. I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel exhausted. Then a good friend will call me and say, you want to do something? Well, okay, so maybe now it would have to do something on Zoom or one of the virtual ways of doing things. I hear that Netflix has made it possible to watch movies together. But whatever that might be, I know that sometimes that makes my energy shift. I get more energy because I think, oh yeah, doing something with a good friend would be a great idea. And we've all had that experience, right? So just recall that surge of energy that filled you at that moment that you're recalling right now about having a good friend call or being a little bit tired and something happens and you're energized. It's that way with spirit. Spiritual energy is just waiting to be expressed through you. Waiting to be expressed. And it's infinite. There's always enough to spare. Hey, isn't that a great idea? Enough to share, enough to spare? Wow. It's our attitude that has us feeling restricted in any way, either physically or spiritually. Again, with it's done unto us as we believe. If we believe that we're restricted, we're restricted. If we believe that we have dipped into the ocean with a thimble and that's all the water we can have, that's what we get. But if we take big buckets, we can have big buckets full. So that idea of there being any limitation of spirit is an old idea. And there's nothing that you can examine that gives it any truth, that there's any limitation. We're called to a greater expression of life, especially right now. And we have an opportunity because there's nothing that spirit can say no to in our own reality. If we believe that there is a healing power that can heal whatever's going on in our lives, it's done unto us as we believe. In Science of Mind, we embrace the understanding that spirit has a unique and individual form in and as each of us. And I recognize that for me, particularly, that the way I know God is through the people I encounter. That the way I feel that expression of love is through the people that are in my life that I care about and that care about me. So rather than thinking of myself as human and divine, I like to think of myself and everyone else on the planet as walking the planet as the eyes, the ears, the hands, the feet, and the voice of the divine right here on earth. Because I don't know about you, but some esoteric way of looking at life, I live in this human body and I want something that looks in form that I can connect with. And yes, it's been a little bit more difficult as we're in this stay at home. But as our various awareness and expressions become more connected with who we really are, we can recognize that we're spiritual beings having spiritual experiences right here in the world of form. There's only one thing really going on, and it's God, or spirit, or life, or whatever it is that you want to call it. Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind said, "Whatever is true of the universe as a whole must also be true of the individual as some part of the whole." Each individual is evolved from the universe as a self-conscious thinking center of living spirit. Each individual is evolved from the universe as a self-conscious, thinking center of living spirit. Wow. Let's think about that for a minute. Because many places in The Science of Mind, we read that our souls are on this pathway of an endless and ever-expanding experience, some journey of awakening to what we have come here, who we've come here to be, and what created us. And along this pathway, our work, our joy, allows us more and more of the divine nature of spirit to be revealed and expressed through us, if we believe that's possible. Part of our spiritual expression is allowing ourselves to become more love and more peace, more joy, more freedom, more of any of those God qualities that we talk about: abundance, balance, beauty, order, whatever it is that speaks to you, wholeness, unity. We are all one. In doing so, in expressing that quality or those many qualities of the divine that are right within us, we become portals through which the healing energy that can heal this planet and heal each of us is present. The power of spirit enters this world as a great blessing through each of us. And when we allow ourselves to be open to that, we spiral upward to an awareness of spirit. Not merely just a concept, but a living reality within ourselves. I know, I can kind of hear the thoughts. This is COVID-19 in our midst, and she's talking about becoming portals of healing energy. Hey, that's the way we heal it, is to band together. I'm not advocating that we disobey any of the stay-at-home orders, or suggesting even that we quit social distancing for a while until we know that this is under control. Because one of the powerful qualities of the divine is wisdom. And wisdom is about listening to the people that are surrounding you, that are telling you how to be safe in your world of form. And what our people around us are telling you is that it's in divine order for us to stay at home. There's a power that's greater than us, and we can use it, and we can use it from the safety of our own homes. So I'm going to invite you right now to shift your thoughts to one positive thing that's happened to you because of this stay-at-home order. Just think of one positive thing. I bet you everybody can think of something positive that's happened within the last week. Our journey is just like that. Our journey to spiritual awakening is focusing on what's good in our life. What do we choose to believe? Do we choose to believe that there are positive things around this stay-at-home, that as a nation we're learning to slow down a little bit? Maybe we're actually recognizing that things like faith and family and friends are what is really important, and that it's not about money, although I know we all need enough to sustain ourselves. It's not really about being at work. I bet you there's not one person out there that would say on their deathbed, I wished I would have worked more. What we say is, I wished I'd had more time to spend with my family and friends. I wished I'd had more time to be possibly more forgiving of the people that, for some reason, we felt transgressed against us. I love this quote from A New Design for Living, also by Ernest Holmes. It says this: God is not lost, neither can we ever be. We never need to prepare to meet our God. We are meeting God every day. What we need to do, and what we always need to be doing, is to express more and more of God's nature through ourselves. To become portals for love, for joy, for wisdom, for peace, for freedom, for order, for wholeness. And I venture to say that if we focused on that while we're at our stay at home, that the world is going to become a better place. If we help each other however way we can, possibly one person going out to get groceries for people that can't, leaving them on their doorstep, whatever it is, if we choose a spiritual journey that embraces the healing energy of spirit, which is infinite, how might it change the world? How might it change how we see the world? I believe that there's always a goal within each of us to have a greater knowledge, a greater experience, a greater expression of spirit within us, to understand more deeply that all loving, all giving, all forgiving spirit. And I think that's obtainable. The great value in aligning with spirit, with our highest spiritual truth, is that we feel more connected within ourselves and with others. When we engage in spiritual living, what we do is create a congruence between what we believe in and how we live our lives. And I would say that in this fast-moving world, that a lot of us say one thing and live another way. I know in parts of my lives I'm capable of doing that. There are people that I want to stay connected to, and I fail to call them for a month or two. I think we all have areas where we do that. So this stay-at-home time is a wonderful opportunity for us to determine what are our values, what do we really believe in, because remember, it's done unto us as we believe, and how do we want to live our lives in congruence with what we say we believe in. In the midst of all these challenges and these difficult situations, we can choose to remember that our innate being is wholeness, and that within each of us there's a peace and calm that is the divine, just waiting to be tapped into. We can know that love is always the answer. It's the response to whatever's going on, including to our politicians in whatever situation. We can believe that the reality of spirit within us and within others is that divine beingness. And we can know, if it's done unto us as we believe, then it's our job to live in congruency with what it is we believe, To live a life that says, I believe this, and that's the way I'm going to live. Not to just give verbal accruance to it. So what we identify with, we actually become. And it's the message that we're putting out to the world. The way we show up in the world is the way other people see us. It's not just who we want to be, it's who we are. So who are you being? If you truly believe that faith, family, and friends are your three highest, and I said last week that I think that's all really one thing because I really do believe that we're one. But if you believe that, is that the way you live your life? It's an interesting time to reflect on that, isn't it? In Science of Mind, we read, when we learn to trust the universe, we shall be happy, prosperous, and well. God is always God. No matter what our emotional storm or what our objective situation may be, there's always something hidden in the inner being that has never been violated. There's a part of us that is still spirit expressing. That last part was me. There is a part of us that's still spirit expressing. And we stumble sometimes. We get disconnected. We choose to step away from our higher self, from our best self. We choose to get disconnected from the joy that we want to live. And maybe we get grumpy. Maybe we're feeling a little bit caged in. If you're feeling that way, a good question is, what would love do? What would love do? Imagine a world in which every person on the planet lived in alliance with their highest spiritual truth. How can you live knowing that if you live in your highest spiritual truth, it's going to be done unto you as you believe? I invite you this week, I'm going to repeat this, I said it a couple weeks ago. If you get caught up in the drama of the COVID-19, take 3 breaths. Breathe in. There is only one life. And just release that. Breathe in. That life is God. And the 3rd breath, that life is my life now. So I have 2 challenges for you today. The first one is to remember to see God as who you are. Remember to allow Spirit to express as you. Remember this week that wherever you are, love is always the answer. That you're on a spiritual journey of awareness. And whatever's happening, you can choose love. And the second challenge is to take 5 to 10 minutes every day. Sit in the silence or with some nice, wonderful music like the music of Gary Lynn Floyd here. And envision the virus reducing itself by 10% that day. If more people on the planet did that, I'm sure that the cure is right there, that the virus is being depleted. So I want to end with a poem that a friend of mine that's a minister sent. She's a minister in Dallas, Petrie Weldes, and she's an accomplished writer. And this is her shelter-in-place poem. Shelter in place keeps us home in safety and security. Shelter in faith brings us refuge in spirit. Shelter in connection binds us together in love. Shelter in physical care restores us to our wholeness. Shelter in quiet taps us into the source. Shelter in finance support affirms our abundance. Shelter in online opportunity ignites our creativity and growth. Shelter in our inner life expands our freedom. Shelter in each other reveals our oneness. Home is where the heart is. May you find your way home. Let's pray. So we are all one. We're all on this spiritual journey, spiritual beings living in a spiritual experience in the land of form here on this planet. It is indeed done unto us as we believe. So what I know to be the truth this week is that each of us is tapping into the spiritual awareness of what is important in each of our lives, and that we're living congruent with what we believe to be important. And I know that decision for each of us is raising the vibration of the planet to a point where viruses and other physical inflictions can be healed. I know deeply within myself that this stay at home, it is allowing us to become more spiritually connected with our guides, our inner self, that love, that joy, that wholeness, that freedom within each of us. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this opportunity to take a breath, to know that there is only one life, that life is God, and that life is my life right here, right now. So it's from that gratitude that I release this into the law of mind, spirit, and action. Because what I know to be the truth is that the divine has seen all the seeds that we're planting of love and connection and helping. And those seeds are growing into healing ways for our planet. So I can just say amen, know it's already done, and say, and so it is. So this is our time that we would normally be taking up a collection, normally be getting some support financially for our center. And I want to remind you that even though we're doing a virtual service, that our expenses at the center continue. We still have electricity bills, we still have rent to pay. And so I'm going to invite you to please go out to our website at www.cssoutheastla.org, all spelled out. Yes, it's long. And make a donation. There's a donate button. And I'm going to put this here so you can see it. And the donate button is over here up in this corner, right here. And when you click that, it allows you to donate. And if you don't want to donate through PayPal, you can always send in a check. The address is on that page. So thank you for your support, for your financial support, and for showing up today and being in community with us. We do have a live discussion that will start at 11:30, and I invite you to call in And if you don't have time to write down the phone number, it is, if you scroll on the Facebook page, it's there so that you can see it. There is a participant code, but it allows us to be in community over a conference line. And every Sunday so far, we've had fabulous discussions. People bring up what's going on for them. We talk about whatever our fears might be, whatever our joys might be at the moment. It's a great opportunity for us to be in connection via phone. So I invite you to join us at 11:30 for that conference call. So I'm going to say goodbye to you the way I usually do at the center. Until we meet again, may we be wrapped in the arms of love and kindness. And may each of us remember this week that it's done unto us as we believe. And so we believe strongly that any prayer that we are praying is actually happening and being fulfilled. Thank you. Have a great week. Join us for our midweek meditation. It's on Wednesday nights, 6 o'clock Central Time, and it is on Zoom. And if you need information, that's also on our website. Thank you very much. Have a great week. Be on that spiritual journey. Bye now.